Hello everyone, my name is Navjeet Kaur and in this video I will explain the main physical processes that are changing the landscape of Stanley Park. During our field trip, I stopped at several locations, looked at the rocks, beaches, cliffs, slopes and the seawall. And I learned how natural forces like waves, weathering, erosion, soil movement and glaciers shape the park. I will also show photos that I took during the trip to help explain what I observed. Now I'm talking about the second beach. At the second beach, I looked at the sand and the surface near the water. The sand here is very fine because it is made from silt, tiny particles produced by erosion. The waves here are always moving material and over time they create a wave cut platform, which is a flat rock surface visible during low tide. However, the seawall blocks some of the natural movement of sediments. Because of this, new sand does not always return to the beach, so the beach is changing slowly over time. Now I'm talking about the soil creep. We noticed something interesting on the slope beside the path. The trees were leaning downhill even though they were very healthy. This happens because of soil creep, which is a slow movement of soil down the slope. It is caused by gravity, rain, and the expansion and construction of soil. I took a photo of the leaning trees, and you can clearly see how the slope is slowly pushing everything downward. Now I'm talking about the Ferguson Point. Ferguson Point, where there are tall sandstone cliffs. My photo shows the cliffs with plants growing on top and cracks running through the rock. The rock layers are here tightened because the land was pushed up by natural forces in the past. At the bottom of the cliff, there is a wave erosion. Waves hit the cliff every day and slowly cut notches into the base. As the base weakens, rocks fall from the slope, creating more erosion and changing the shape of the cliff over time. These cliffs are a great example of how both weathering and wave erosion work together. Now I'm talking about the third beach point. At third beach point, we saw many large rocks in the water. I used photos which rocked underwater. These rocks are here for three main reasons. Wave action pushes and moves rocks along the shore. Slope erosion causes rocks to fall from the cliffs above, and some rocks were left behind by glaciers thousands of years ago. The rounder shape of the rocks shows that the waves have smoothed them over time. This stop shows how strong the waves are in this part of Stanley Park. Now I'm talking about the Siwash Rock. Siwash Rock is one of the most famous landmarks in the Stanley Park. It is made of basalt and igneous rock that formed from cooling magma deep underground. Basalt is much stronger than sandstone, which is why Siwash Rock is still standing while the softer rock around it has eroded away. The cliff photo I took near this area shows deep cracks in the rock and roots growing onto the fractures. This area is a perfect example of differential erosion, where hard rock erodes slower than soft rock. Siwash rock is actually a sea snake created by wave erosion over thousands of years. Now I'm talking about the north of Siwash rock. As we walked north of Siwash rock, I took a picture of a smooth, dark rock cliff with the plants and soil on top. This area shows how the landscape is made of bedrock weathering covered by glacial sediments like sand, gravel, and soil. Plants grow in the upper layer, but rain and gravity slowly wash the soil down, which exposes more of the bedrock. In the past, waves used to remove sand from the base of the cliff, But now the seawall stops that natural movement. Because of this, the beach here has changed and become small. And now I'm talking about the Prospect Point. Prospect Point, where we looked at the strong igneous cliffs that from the edge of the park. These cliffs show common-like features formed when lava cooled long ago. The broad inlet beside Prospect Point is narrow because these rocks resist erosion. On the other side of the inlet, we can see very old granite mountains, which are part of the coastal mountain range. This stop shows the older geological history that shaped the entire region. Now I'm talking about the conclusion. So across all these locations, we are seeing different natural processes at work. At Second Beach, the landscape is shaped by superfine sediment building up and waves curving a rock platform. At Ferguson Point, gravity is slowly pulling soil downhill and the land is reshaping over time. At Third Beach, waves move sand in and out with the seasons, and the forest slope behind the beach are slowly shifting. In the north of Sivas Rock, waves continue to reshape the coast today. And at the Prospect Point, strong waves and weathering are actively eroding the cliffs. All of this shows that the landscape around Stanley Park is constantly changing. Some changes are slow and steady, some are dramatic, and some happened thousands of years ago, but still shape what we see today. Understanding these processes help us appreciate just how dynamic and alive the coastline really is. Thank you so much.